Hello everybody, welcome back to Crypto Energies Weekly. My name is Jona Bryndis. I'm an energy coach and energy healer, and yes, I talk about cryptocurrencies and what's going on in the crypto world based on collective energies. So this is a whole different approach, and if this is the first time you are arriving here, thank you for staying. This is going to be interesting for you as I am producing here a whole different perspective on crypto energies, as I call them. Those of you who know me know that I have a Facebook group in which I post a crypto daily. So if you want to stay tuned to everything that is going on in the crypto world, viewed from the energetic point of view, then join the Facebook group and you can also ask questions there. But as you also know, I'm doing this live here for you to ask direct questions. So I hope you will comment on things here as I have time set aside to react to this. First off, let's look at the current situation here on February 22nd, since we're looking into the week 9, 23rd of February till 1st of March. We are facing the unknown once more. So after a beautiful recovery last week and some really, really good news all around, the tides were turning, right? Something's happening the last 24 hours and we're in the red again. People don't get all sucked up into your fear. Remember, this is a highly emotional market, okay? And just because there's no bad news doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of fear of the unknown. So there are a few factors that play into this right now, and I don't want to come across as know-it-all. You know, I don't. I get my information from other YouTubers who are much better at analyzing the market. And so if you don't have the time to watch all those, then just look at my interpretation or contextualization. Namely, that there are a few streams of emotions going on right now that, as I announced last week, have to do with refinement, not correction so much, but refinement. So we have to refine our position here in the market, and the market itself has to position itself. I have been talking about birthing stage all year last year, and we are now officially moving into infancy. And with every infancy, I'm a mom of 3 kids. I can sing a song about this. There come a few problems of growth. And so what we're facing here right now are the boundaries of what is possible and what isn't. We're all excited here, those of us who have been believing in the cryptocurrency market all along. And yes, the naysayers are still there, but you know, now as governments all over the world are jumping on, looking into cryptocurrencies, constructively trying to work out regulations, consumer protections, and so forth. You know, we're feeling more accepted, okay? But we need to be careful to not go overboard. Cryptocurrencies are not a religion, guys. All right, this is where the crossover here with crypto spiritual energies occurs. This is not a cult or a group of believers, okay? We are here because we sensed something, and this is something I want to reinforce for you, because those who could see the blockchain technology underneath Bitcoin and what Bitcoin can sort of invite here as a whole new way of transacting and keeping track of transactions in all areas of technology, in all areas of life, really, you need to keep it down a bit, okay? So this is not about you. This is not about, yes, you were right all along. No, this is a real thing here. This will change our societies, okay? It can't be, you know, stopped. And so try to refrain from going overboard with your enthusiasm, because what that creates is polarity. And in energy work, we know that any kind of polarity creates tension, creates sort of a counter movement, a counter energy. And this is what we're experiencing right now. Yes, and I forgot to say hello because there is this delay here on YouTube, so it takes a few minutes for me to actually see you guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being here and for taking the time. There is, however, something that we have underestimated or not quite understanding yet. So all crypto YouTubers are kind of like in this, well, I don't know what's going on. I don't know either, guys, but I can tell you one thing. You know, whenever you think you've got it figured out, you're going to experience that you haven't. And this is part of this constant adaptation cycle that I've been talking so much about. So right now, there is a reason to believe that there has been a bit of a FUD reverse, you know, an inversion of negative news, namely overly positive news all week. And this could lead us to believe that there may be a little bit of a concerted or coordinated pump and dump going on, because we all understand that smart money is beginning to recognize cryptocurrencies not just as securities, also as, you know, investments into new technologies. And so there is, of course, the possibility of manipulation right now, because it's such an emotional market. And, you know, this grassroots movement, you know, the foundation of the crypto movement that we have provided here is nothing compared to the trillions of investment money that is waiting to come in. And so, yes, there are things that we can see here, patterns where there is a time where there's extremely negative news in order to dump the price before a really extreme rise, okay? And if you actually take the time to look at the transactions that are happening, because this is a cool thing in blockchain, right? You can watch all that. You can watch where the money is coming from, how big the transactions are, and so forth. You'll see that there may be tendencies of larger institutions manipulating the price. This can, we call those whales, okay? This can happen here until the infancy stage has matured into, like, say, elementary school. We as a whole community here know how to write and read and become a little more secure. But right now we're still dealing with this volatility, and the volatility is nothing but the manifestation or reflection of the emotional nature of the cryptocurrency market. And so it is really important for you to not overindulge in anything, be it your enthusiasm or your fear. Okay, this is the main sort of energy here for this next week, because there's ups and downs that need to be expected, and it is illusionary to think that, you know, now that the Bitcoin price is going, you know, above 10,000, we are headed to 200,000. Yes, we are headed to 200,000, but that's not going to happen tomorrow. That's going to happen within the year or two. So we have to, like, pace things out. We have to discipline ourselves a bit. All right. There was so much going on this week. You know, it's really difficult to cover all this here in 15 minutes, but the main thing is that the news are not what determine the prices, guys. There's much, much bigger dynamics involved in this, and a lot of invisible stuff for the normal guy like you and I. Okay, so until, you know, this is a more say mainstream adoption cycle that we're seeing here, we're going to have to live with these ups and downs, and you're going to have to learn how to calm yourself down. Now, there are some practical aspects to this, and this leads me to the energy tips for the next week. And that is, one of them is these energies such as FOMO, you know, the fear of missing out. We've seen a little bit of this here last week with the Litecoin fork. And I've mentioned last week that I was not entirely convinced, at least not enough to come out here and to tell you guys besides, I'm not a financial advisor anyway. This is not advice that I'm giving, but to make a statement whether or not you should participate. The reason why I was so hesitant to do this was because of the FOMO energy underneath it. Litecoin Cash, does not really have a use in my personal opinion, and therefore it didn't pass my integrity test. So I don't think it was a mistake to participate, but for those of you who are not that tech savvy, it produced a lot of questions, a lot of dangers that I think were not worth to participate in. So I basically let that go. And if you just listened to the collective energy update a few minutes ago, I said every time you let go, you grow. And in the crypto market, that's really important to internalize, because there are so many opportunities here to invest, to really participate in this exciting emergence of new technologies, but also new ways of interacting with another, that you don't need to chase the next big thing. Okay, so be careful. Even though there are some really cool ICOs and so forth, it doesn't mean that you have to go with everything. All right, so curb your enthusiasm there a bit. The real big news is actually now that SEGWIT, as a new sort of protocol for, or sub-protocol for the Bitcoin blockchain, will be implemented by the big exchanges. This is something, even if you don't understand the technological aspect of that, that will lead to a more stable, say, movement in the market, simply because it increases scalability. And with scalability, it also increases the usability for us. So let's not forget that all these cryptocurrencies, be it that they are disruptor currencies, securities, or utility tokens, need to be applied. They need to be used. We need merchants to accept cryptocurrencies, and this is what's really going on underneath the surface right now. Is the battle for who's going to be, like which token is going to be sort of the one that we as users, as consumers, are going to apply. And there were so many issues here in the past with Bitcoin as a currency, such as transaction fees and transaction times, which have all been resolved here in the meantime. But the next big step really is to make these cryptocurrencies, the currencies, more usable for us, more feasible for us. So stay calm here, guys. Allow all this to refine itself and to become a bit more applicable. All right, so SEGWIT is a good thing, and it will lead to some of these alternative tokens, these alternative currencies that have emerged in the last 6-7 months, such as Bitcoin Cash, and probably also, or most likely, Litecoin Cash, to kind of die off, because they're not really needed anymore. And we will see who is going to be the most popular or most accepted currency for us consumers in the end. But my guess is that we are looking at Litecoin and some of the technologies that are based off of Litecoin, simply because Bitcoin is more of sort of the security aspect here of the cryptocurrency world. But those are just my 2 cents. The real important thing here is to understand that we're dealing with a lot of children's diseases right now, especially when it comes to exchanges and wallets. And so, the SEGWIT protocol will help us with this. And this will also reduce our insecurities and our fears around wallets. So there has been a bit of an issue with Trezor wallets this week, Ledger wallets last week. So my view on this is that once these new wallet software or wallet companies refine, they're all in the beta stage right now. So once we'll see some of these wallets, such as Pillar, ASOS, and Exodus, evolve, they may actually be safer than our hardware wallets down the road. Right now, we strongly recommend for everyone to have hardware wallets, simply because it's easier to handle for us, and there's too much insecurity about all this hacking and scamming. But you got to understand that the biggest loss in cryptocurrencies does not occur through hacking. It actually occurs through the misuse, or people forgetting their seeds, or people not handling things such as passwords, authentications, and private keys correctly. So there is a much bigger issue with losing money through this techno insecurity than hacking. And so we are all waiting for these refined and better usable or feasible or easier wallets in the future. There's a cool stuff to come. A few questions here that I want to answer. Just recently, what about the Dent coin? There was a vote on Binance if Dent should be included in the Binance listing. I like Dent because it's a cool disruptor technology. It allows you to sell your excess minutes from your cell phone provider and makes them available for others. I like all disruptor technologies. I like things that open up new ways of transacting, things that provide open source. And so, yes, I think that's a cool investment long term. Another one was people asking about Tezos. That's something, if you are following Cliff High, that may actually turn out as a wonderful investment down the road. Okay, there's some news coming out that Tezos has finally resolving the legal issues that they have with their leadership. Just came out, and it may look like a really good investment for those of you who are in this, but be cautioned, okay? Be very cautious with this. Those are my 2 cents, not financial advice, as you know, and the crypto energies for next week are warning you to not go overboard, to not overindulge in enthusiasm as well as fear. If you can't watch the bloodbath one day and then the enthusiasm the other day, then take a bit of a time out, okay? Crypto energies are generally good for next week, but we have to pace things out. But thank you for watching, everyone. Join the Facebook group and subscribe to the channel. If you want to learn how to read energies better, how to work with yourself and translate this maybe to your investment strategies, then take a look at transcodes.com and how we teach people to do energy management, and also how to translate this into your everyday decisions, including financial decisions. Thank you for having you here. Bye-bye.